Hello and welcome. My name is Zafar Iqbal, and you are watching the Mojo Story. A joyous city has suddenly been turned into tears. We're talking about Bangalore, where a major stampede has happened. Now, this stampede has taken place just outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore. It's a tragic incident that's happened there, and many people have died in that stampede. The chaos unfolded as lakhs of supporters of RCB, the cricket team, uh, gathered outside the stadium. They were trying to make their way inside the stadium. They were actually celebrating the team's maiden win in the IPL, and that's when this incident took place. The felicitation ceremony was, of course, being organized by the Karnataka government. You can see on your screen those visuals of the stampede, the chaos that unfolded on the streets just outside that stadium. We can quickly cut across to our correspondent Akanksha in Bangalore to give us a sense what exactly happened there. Akanksha, if you can hear me, what did you hear? What did you see? What are the details that you can share with us?
Right. Now, like we know, what was meant to be a moment of celebration has turned into a tragic evening. What we know as of now is at least 11 people are reportedly feared dead, and at least 50 others, including a 6-year-old child, has been injured in a stampede like situation that broke out at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, where the team had gathered just a short while ago. As we know, the stampede broke out and the crowd swelled uncontrollably, especially near gate number 3, where the team was expected to arrive with the trophy. 7 of the deceased were rushed to Bowring Hospital, which is very close to the stadium, and 3 others have been taken to another hospital, again, a hospital named Vaidehi, which is close to the stadium. As we know, as of now, ambulances have been moving in and out of the area consistently. As of now, the official death toll is feared to rise, and rescue operations are still ongoing. But we'll keep bringing you updates as they come in.
Right. So at least 50 people are injured who have been moved to the hospital. Now, the stadium was already packed to the capacity. Thousands more were waiting outside just to get an opportunity to go inside that stadium. There were also security personnel that were deployed, but it was not a crowd in thousands, it was a crowd numbering in lakhs that were present at the stadium, and it was difficult to control them. And what had perhaps complicated the situation was incessant rain and vehicular traffic in Bangalore, right, Akanksha?
Absolutely. 18 years long, the victory was awaited. So the crowd was really overwhelmed to actually welcome the team. But unfortunately, the event turned extremely bitter, and the death toll is set to rise. But we'll get more information and keep you all updated on it.
And you can confirm that the victory parade that was scheduled to happen at around 3 or 4 p.m. has now stands cancelled.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, the crowd had gathered. The team had arrived at Chinnaswamy Stadium after meeting the chief minister and the deputy chief minister. And like we see the visuals here, lakhs of people had gathered. People are still at the stadium, as we know, as of now. So that's the situation, yes.
Okay. We're also joined by Saeed Asad Abbas at this point in time, who's a political analyst and a supporter of the RCB. He joins us from Bangalore. Uh, Abbas Saab, what are you hearing? What did you see? We know that since last night there were celebrations in Bangalore. The sky was lit up with lights and festivities after people heard the victory of RCB. But now it has suddenly turned very tragic.
Zafar Saab, to me, being a supporter of the RCB, being a Bangalorean Kannadiga all my life, this is truly heartbreaking. I've always believed that with great power, there is a great responsibility and equal accountability that sets in. The fact of the matter, we Bangaloreans have waited patiently for the last 18 years, thronged the Chinnaswamy Stadium, match after match. I myself have been to the Chinnaswamy Stadium dozens of times. And unfortunately, this celebration, this jubilation has turned into a tragedy. This is truly shocking. It is undoubtedly heartbreaking. My heart goes out to all the deceased, their members, the family. It's very unfortunate what has happened today here in Bengaluru. The fact we need to understand that we all need to be, even if there is celebrations, no matter the frenzy, no matter the lakhs of people who are there. Let me tell you, yesterday my beautiful city of Bengaluru turned into the festival of lights. As a matter of fact, the whole city was lit up with fireworks, and it was a beautiful sight. But now, what has happened? This is nothing short of devastating, shattering, and I would say this is truly sad state of affairs here. How celebration in one moment can turn into moments of regret. I think, therefore, many a times, many of the people who've been tweeting on the same front that there needs to be responsibility which needs to come in. I think lakhs of people that come in there. Also, we need to understand that 5,000 police officers were deployed on the same front. Unfortunately, we did see people passing away, but the fact, let us also remember that it was the police officers who, in their hands, were rushing the deceased towards the ambulances and the hospitals. The fact, I think, is we must hold accountability. There is no doubt about it. But politicizing this sad state of affairs is absolutely not going to help anybody, be it the Bharatiya Janata Party or the Congress Party. Accountability needs to be set in, yes. The fact that now the measures that needs to be taken elsewhere, all of that needs to be coming through. Also, as a matter of fact, I have been on various television channels previously coming on your show, Zafar Saab. Even in the next shows to come, I humbly plead, my dear friends of the Bharatiya Janata Party, to kindly not politicize this situation and look at fronts where we can bring in accountability here. The fact that
But
Sidramaya
but but
ji,
but Abbas Sahab, accountability has to be fixed. If it was understood that there will be crowds in such large numbers, it was expected. As you were saying, the skies were lit up with fireworks in the night. It was expected that people will come out in large numbers and they will rather go towards the stadium. There has to be some arrangements have to be made. And when DK Shivakumar was asked about it, he said that people were not in thousands, but they were in lakhs. If the
that's
government
true.
had the knowledge of the situation, then it was expected that government should have taken certain measures. In fact, if we can hear
I
that
will answer
soundbite
that.
first, and then we can go to my colleague Harshit, and
That's
also
a
we
fair
joined by Surabhi at this
That's a
point in
fair
time.
question, Zafar Saab, and I will definitely answer that. That's a fair
Yeah,
question,
let's
which
let's hear that soundbite
I'm
first. Let's hear that soundbite first.
sure.
I have spoken to the police commissioner and all the people. I'm also going little late to the hospital because now lot of trouble is there. I don't want to disturb the doctors who are trying to take care of the patients. And only the exact number is not been still this one. So we are at it. We appeal to all of them to still to be calm. How many people died? That is why we cut off a lot of programs were there. We didn't want to continue with the program. Only within 10 minutes with one round we just closed it. And we appeal even in the metros, whatever the metros has been jammed. We are not able to start. We are taking a little bit time to see that everything comes to the normal position. What is at present? No, yes. Of course. There is some issues. I will come back to you after I visit the hospital. No, I can't.
Only 5,000 police personnel were deployed, sir. You said the crowd that came in was running into thousands, sir. Was
No,
this enough?
it will not thousands, it will lakhs. No. See, Nodi. BJP is saying, sir, Nodi,
Right, you heard it. Harshit, you want to come in here? That 5,000 police personnel were deployed when the government knew that it's going to be a big show of people, show of strength. There are lots of people who will come there for supporting their team, and he himself says that the numbers ran in lakhs.
Right, absolutely. And Zafar, I think all of our audiences must understand this. The Chinnaswamy Stadium, which is a big stadium in comparatively to the other stadiums in this country, which has a capacity of 40 to 50,000 people after the renovation. For this particular event, we need to understand that no tickets were sold. Tickets were not sold. Only passes were distributed, and those were free of cost. So nobody had to pay anything to be there in the stadium. So obviously, it was for sure that people will come in huge amount. There will be a lot of people coming in who will try to get a seat in the stadium, will try to get a look to have a view of their ideals to Virat Kohli, to Rajat Patidar, and all these people who have won this cup after 18 years. So it was pretty much quite easy to anticipate that people in lakhs are going to be there. Now this leads us to a point where we can question the authorities that were there proper arrangements made, and especially all these stampede, all these casualties have taken place near the entry gates of the stadium, which also makes us understand that this happened while people were trying to enter the stadium because there were no tickets sold. So anybody who could have come first.
That's a very important point, that there were no tickets sold. The entry was based on passes.
Yeah, so that was first come and first serve sort of an arrangement which was there. So there, that which led to this stampede like a situation because there were no tickets sold. So this arises the question, here arises the question, that was there proper arrangement of security, and out of those 5,000 security guards who the Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister says were deployed, how many were there at the entry gates of the stadium where these casualties have taken place?
Right. Surbi, you want to come in here? We've been discussing this situation. This is really unfortunate that in the night there were celebrations and jubilations, and it was expected that people will come out in large numbers to support their team. But now it's turned into a tragedy with this stampede and with so many people who have died and many others who are injured and moved to hospital now.
It is beyond unfortunate. It is criminal negligence on the part of the state government. What prompted the government to have an event in Vidhan Sauda where there were ministers, MLAs, MLCs, their families, while lakhs of people stood on the in the crowd? Who were the organizers? Who gave permission to this event? Who decided that within 12 hours we will have this celebration? Do not accuse me of making this political. I am asking these questions as a responsible member of the opposition today. What decision led to this hasty celebration within the center of the city? That too, were there ambulance bays, were there first aid stations? Did we not know what type of crowd to expect? And you're kidding me, 5,000 members of our police who have not had the opportunity to sleep last night because the entire city has been celebrating. Did the government not see this coming? To take care of lakhs of fans. If this was a ticketed event, was that announcement made? If this was not a ticketed event, who controlled who went in and who did not? In a capacity of less than 1 lakh, you're allowing for more than a lakh, multiple lakhs of people to be on the streets. What did you think was going to happen? DCM goes and rushes to welcome the cricketers. DCM is in the Chinnaswamy Stadium after the deaths have happened. The government is absolutely responsible. The stampede, the tragedy that we are seeing, all of this could have been prevented. Even with the best planned situations, things can go wrong. But if you don't plan anything at all, what do you expect is going to happen? And I want to understand the simple thing. What was the need to have all your ministers, all your MLCs, all your MLAs do a celebration in front of Vidhan Sauda? RCB is a team for the people. They should have ensured that this is a people-oriented celebration done in a properly planned manner. I will not take anything less than complete accountability by the state government today. And yes, the police have been present while the ministers were watching on big screens in their houses comfortably. The police have been managing the crowd every single day. And there are reports last night, and there are reports that the police high command said, please do not do this. But it was done.
Surbi, it's flashing on our screen that IPL chairman Arun Dhumal says no knowledge of the event. So, if you're saying that was the entry on the basis of tickets, was it on the basis of passes? No information was given. There was complete chaos on the roads. People didn't know what is the procedure. Is there a procedure? Is it open for all? Who is supposed to go? Nobody knew anything about it, and those are the lapses. Those are the questions that the government must answer, Abbas Saab. Please unmute Abbas Saab.
Sure. Uh, Let us understand that there have been political leaders from the Bharatiya Janata Party also, like Mr. Tejasvi Surya, who's a member of parliament from Bengaluru South, who has urged the fans to celebrate responsibly. The fact of the matter we need to understand, be it DK Shivkumarji, be it Sidramaya ji, and so on and so forth, some very pertinent and important questions here raised by my dear friend Surabhi ji, and those must be addressed. Like I said, accountability needs to be fixed. There are no two ways about it. Harshad made a point with respect to how are the passes being given away. On the website, these passes were given away. It was free. There is no doubt about it. But the fact is, this was not an open for all event for everyone to come to Chinnaswamy Stadium. It was clearly mentioned on the website that only those with eligible passes will be allowed inside. The unfortunate incident took place at gate number 3, 10, and 21. And no doubt about it, the lives that have been lost, their members, their family must and should be answered to. The same reason why Shri D.K. Shivkumarji, the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, apologized on the same front that knowing the uncontrollable crowd, there was a rally which was planned, a procession with the RCB team members from Vidhana Sauda all the way to Chinnaswamy Stadium, which was cancelled. And the event which was supposed to be taken place at Chinnaswamy Stadium was cut short to a couple of minutes, only to raise the cup and given away. Also, Sidramaya ji, when he learnt of this news, the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, straight headed to Bowring Hospital. The fact is, to me, being a Bangalorean, Surabhi being a Bangalorean, and several lakhs and crores of us, this is heartbreaking. This is soul shattering that 18 years, Zafar Sahab, we have waited for a victory and to celebrate, and something like this happens. This is truly, truly, truly sad state of affairs. Undoubtedly, I think mostly, those parents, those who've been affected, what I learn is from the youth, from a very young demographic, it's absolutely unfortunate. And there needs to be accountability. There needs to be answers which needs to be sought. For me, what is I think going ahead, one very important point I'd like to bring to your notice, Zafar Saab, that the Karnataka police that we have is one of the finest police that we have in our country. Policemen are not avengers with superpowers. They are humans like you and I. When crowd turns up in lakhs of numbers, bringing down the onus on 5,000 police personnel is absolutely wrong. Maybe the event in itself should have been cancelled. Maybe there should have been complete accountability left on that front. But please, with hand on my heart, let me tell you, do not blame the Karnataka police. It is the same police which has saved several lives in the same incident. It is the same police which carried many people who were affected, brought them back to life, did CPR, performed CPR on them. They rushed them like their family members to the ambulances, to the hospital. You want to do politics on this front? Do it. But blaming the police is absolutely wrong. Police personnel are humans like you and I, and it is impossible in the world. Even if there is Scotland Yard police here or New York Police Department, even they cannot control a crowd which is in lakhs of numbers. You want to blame the politicians? Go ahead, blame Congress or
Right,
rule state or so on and so forth. But please do not pin the blame on the police. Police only act as per orders of the
right.
politicians.
Right. I guess Surbi has been willing to say a point. She has a point. I guess Surbi, please go ahead, and then I have something to say. I'll intervene.
There is
Surbi.
a reason why, if I'm not wrong, there is a reason why a Congress representative is not here today. Because this is absolute utter failure of the Congress government here in Karnataka. Nobody is blaming the police. In fact, we are taking pity to the fact that the police have been given this unthinkable job. The fact that they have not slept all night, they've been on the streets.
Hmm.
This is the complete failure of the state government. And I'll tell you what are the two things that need to be done right away. It is not enough that the CM went and visited those who were grievously injured. It is absolutely, unimaginable that the DCM continued the celebration in Chinnaswamy Stadium even after the deaths were reported. What should happen here is that there must be resignation from the people who are giving orders to the police. That is your minister, your home minister, your deputy chief minister. Have the courage to say that. That is the reason we are asking for this loud and clear. If you're not able to manage this, when other cities have had such similar celebrations and no such untoward incident have been possible, the High Court of Karnataka should take suo motu cognizance against this criminal negligence that has occurred within the government, and resignations should follow. have the courage to resign and say, yes, I did not, there was haste in decision making and this is my responsibility. We have lost young children, we have lost women, we have lost people who went there for celebration. This is a very, very, very bad day for all of Bengaluru, all of Karnataka, and all of India. This is horrible.
Right. Or no, also Surbi, I to an extent do agree with Abbas Saab that police cannot be held accountable for whatever that has happened. But I also have a question in my mind that do you think that the authorities got carried away with the victory which came after 18 years? Because as far as I remember, when India won the World Cup, T20 World Cup in back in Barbados, such a parade was organized in Bombay near the Wankhede Stadium. But the arrangements were made. It was a gap of 24-hour cycle. I mean, it was a 24-hour to 30-hour cycle when the parade was organized. Lakhs of people came there. They were there to see their heroes, to cheer up for them. Abbas, do you think that this time most of the people got carried away with this victory, whether it be the deputy chief minister of the state, whether it be the BCCI itself? Because I personally believe that the BCCI and the IPL committee is to be equally held responsible, because they should have discussed it with the state administration that there are a lot of people who are anticipated to join this parade. There are necessary arrangements that need to be made before we organize this parade. Organizing such a large scale parade on such a short notice is not a very sound thing to do. Obviously, all of us are happy, all the RCB fans are happy, but there could have been better arrangements made. There could have been a bit more time taken, a buffer could have been taken. Abbas sir.
Absolutely. I think, Harshad Sahab, that couldn't have been articulated better. You're absolutely right on the analysis of the front, when India won the T20 World Cup. And we did see this happening in Wankhede Stadium and around. There was a rally held and it was well managed. Yes, indeed, in times of such circumstances, there needs to be time, there needs to be better planning and a complete strategy that needs to be laid down. And also, like Surbhi said, and I appreciate the point that, pinpointing a blame to the police is absolutely wrong. They are mere humans like us and doing the best possible duty. As a matter of fact, let me bring to your notice, sir, that many of the lives which were saved from the stampedes are also from the police officers. Now, to your question, yes, be it anybody, the organization, the respective people who are involved, the organizers, everyone should be held responsible here. There are no two ways about it. The fact of the matter, we need to understand that, okay, let me bring to your account. I was on a previously, just before I was live here, I was on a mainstream media channel where there was one of the actors who are coming from the south, from my city of Bengaluru, a well-known popular Kannada actress, who made a point that yesterday there were fireworks which were taking place around the city, but there was a frenzy where certain firecrackers were being lit up. There are cars which are moving. Anything could have happened anywhere. I
Hmm,
basically think, and this is probably the first time I might agree with
hmm,
Tejasvi Surya, who's an MP from Bengaluru South. We
hmm,
fans, we must have controlled behavior when it comes to
hmm,
celebrations and victory. As a matter of fact, in the tweet, he has urged that all the fans to kindly celebrate, to
hmm,
kindly go ahead, have a great time out there, but it must
hmm,
be responsibility. My celebration should not be cost of anybody else's pain. I think the
hmm.
stampede being occurred is unfortunate. There should have been accountability and better planning there. There is no two ways about it. But seeing the frenzy carried on from last night till about now, I think
Hmm,
any celebrations, any jubilations must
hmm.
be done responsibly. I think
Right.
that control is important.
Now, before I go to Surbi, I would like to come to Akansha. Akansha, cricket in India is not just a sport, it is an emotion indeed. And we have seen crazy visuals coming in from Bangalore, the RCB fans celebrating in each and every way possible of a victory after 18 years. You please tell me what you have observed in the past 12 or 15 hours. How have the celebrations been and how have the emotions been? What have you seen how the RCB fans are celebrating? And I do understand the fact that the emotions are quite hard to control in such a situation, but it is equally important for the fans to understand that though you are very happy, but you need to take care of certain rules and guidelines as well. The traffic police has been saying for past few hours that there are certain rules and regulations. Please don't come in huge numbers. Have they been followed, Akansha? What has been the behavior pattern of the fans?
Absolutely. I like I mentioned before, the fans were completely overwhelmed by the 18-year long wait. of the victory. We've never seen, the skyline of Bangalore lit like it was last night. We completely understand the emotion. There were a lot of statements also put by the Bangalore City Police this morning,
Hmm.
urging the fans to please be careful and not gather in such large numbers. The victory
Hmm.
parade actually was held, cancelled, because the
Hmm.
management and the traffic could not be managed. But
Hmm.
unfortunately, fans, I think the overwhelmed and the excitement was not controlled, and they gathered in large numbers, not
Hmm.
actually listening to the police and urging them to actually be safe. And unfortunately, we
Hmm.
saw the bitter incident, the absolutely unfortunate and devastating incident happen. But yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Hmm.
The police could have been, the management could have been much better, and
Hmm.
we can't really
Yeah.
say who's fully
Now,
responsible yet. Yeah.
right. Now, Zafar, though this still remains to be a developing story, but what I'm being told is 11 people are dead as of now. They are feared dead. I'm not sure of the number, whether it is unfortunately more people have died or not. But one child of 6-year-old is dead, and they are now being taken to different hospitals, to the Boring Hospital and the Videhi Hospital. And this still remains to be a developing story. I'm afraid that numbers, the death toll may rise as well, but we still need to wait for the official confirmation from the authorities. Zafar, in such a situation, you have covered multiple stampede in your life. Do you think that these sort of stampedes where fans are full of emotions, they are overwhelmed with some sort of victory, will they be looking for some accountability from some authorities? Because uh, the first
See,
accountability we seek from is the government only.
see, Harshit, it is understood that when such a big event happens, that a cricket team wins a match and this entire city is a fan of that cricket team, there will be a large, uh, a big reaction. People will come out on the roads, people will celebrate like it happened last night. So the governments, the authorities are meant to take those measures. As I understand, that victory parade was indeed cancelled or postponed, but that was not enough. That was not enough because people knew that their star cricketers are at the stadium. In fact, Virat Kohli spoke at the stadium, and I would want to request my producer to use these to play these shots full screen so that you see the crowds, the excitement on the ground. On one hand there's so much rush, so many people on the ground. On the other hand, these star cricketers, Virat Kohli, inside the stadium making that speech. So you do expect that there has to be a contingency plan, there has to be a plan of action, that what has to be done, the regulation of traffic, perhaps blockades could have been put along the way to regulate the flow of the people. But once the people come to the venue, then it is not possible to stop them. A few thousand policemen cannot stop lakhs of people. They will jump over the gates. As you can see from those visuals, these are dramatic visuals. You can see the people out there on the roads trying to go inside, catch a glimpse uh, of the star cricketers, trying to climb over the walls of the Chinnaswamy Stadium, trying to jump over the fences to attend that event. So this is the situation on the ground. It was a build-up was happening since the night as people were celebrating all through the night. In fact, in the morning, we saw those visuals of entire skyline being lit up with firecrackers and with lights as people were celebrating. So the government had to be more alert about it, and proper information had to be given out, whether it's the entry is based on passes, it's based on tickets, or entry is for whom, it is not open for each and everybody. So this is the situation. So clearly the BJP is asking questions, and BJP being in the opposition, not just the BJP but anybody can ask these questions, that what was the plan to control these big crowds. Maybe Surabhi made a few points, maybe she can come in here as well.
I'm sorry, but I don't think that merely, saying that the crowds lead to this, or the fact that there was incredible amount of people within a small space, therefore this was going to happen. is something that we can go with. Yesterday, as you rightly said, Zafar, there were celebrations across the city, and as per my understanding, there was no untoward incident reported. What happened today was we brought all of these people to one part of the city, which is already crowded. It is the central business district where traffic is significant during on a weekday, especially. And then you say, listen, let's do an event in Vidhan Sada, and then we'll do a victory parade, and then we'll do something in Chinnaswamy Stadium. All of these were emerging details, by the way. Nobody knew what the plan was. What happens when you bring crowds together has been widely studied and researched, which is why there are preparations for that. There are disaster management preparations, there are first aid preparations, there is planning that the police have to go through. I think the most pertinent questions that need to be asked and answers that we need to seek: who planned this? If the IPL organizers say we didn't know about it, the cricketers say we didn't know about it, we were just ferried around from one place to the other. Who planned this then? Who allowed for this to happen? Surely the chief minister and the deputy chief minister, if they have made the effort to go all the way to receive the team, knew that something like this was going to happen, knew the celebration was going to happen. So if they were if they were present, look, the Congress government can say we were not responsible, this was a tragedy, if the visuals you're showing on your screen today had not happened. But they are there, they are present, they are partaking in this. The entire program, the first program happened in the Vidhan Sabha, not in the CM's chamber. It happened outside for public viewing. Therefore, this was already thought through that public will be present, that crowds will gather. Did you not have an estimate on the numbers? What was the advice that your police, your management, your administration gave? Nobody is blaming the police. We are blaming the people who the police have to unfortunately answer to. This is not on the crowds. This is not on the police. You keep saying responsible behavior of the crowds. Please tell me. Yesterday, there was more crowds. I saw women, I saw families, everybody on the streets yesterday, last night. Did they do anything untoward? No. But when you put so many people in an enclosed space, and then they say tickets, go for the app, go to the stands and take the tickets, this is obviously going to happen. But who made those decisions? The head must role of the people who made those decisions. Finally, it rests with the administration, it rests with the executive, it rests with the government. Again, the Congress could have gotten away, the Congress government could have gotten away if this was a private event. It was a public event for all to witness. It was an event in the footsteps of the Vidhan Sauda. It was an event where there were ministers and their families going for photo opportunities with the players. It is also not the players' fault. What did they have to do? They have been ferried around. It is the fault of the government, absolutely clear on that front.
Fair enough, Surabhi.
Sorry, just one word. I hear that the chief minister is coming out at 7:30 to make a statement. I do not go. I really hope that statement is not merely condolences, because we are not sitting with that. The families deserve that. Tell us who organized this event. Tell us who gave permission. Tell us what you had planned, when, the timeline, which were the authorities that were involved. How much crowd did you predict will enter? When a major event is put forth, they have an estimate. This is the crowd that will come through. Give us those details. If not, we are not sitting quiet. There is a monsoon session coming by. We were not sitting quiet.
No, one important question that Surabhi has raised, Zafar, before you intervene is that who particularly organized this event? Who decided that where will this parade will start and where will it end? And which brings me to the BCCI, because BCCI is usually involved in such plannings. And before we move to Asad, because Asad wanted to intervene, let us first hear out Rajiv Shukla, the Vice President of the Board of Cricket Control of India. He has responded to the whole situation. Let us hear out what he exactly is saying. Can we have Rajiv Shukla?
That means the party in power there should not be blamed for this. First we should ascertain the facts. After that we should decide what should happen and who is responsible. But saying so I think it should not be politicized at all. It can happen in any state ruled by any political party. That much, if at times it happens in some state where BJP is in power, we should not blame BJP also. भीड़ बहुत ज्यादा हो गई थी, अचानक इस कार्यक्रम को आयोजित किया गया, उसकी और ये अंदाजा किसी को नहीं था। फ्रेंचाइजी से मेरी बात हुई, फ्रेंचाइजी भी कहना उनको भी अंदाजा नहीं था कि इस तरह भीड़ उमड़ पड़ेगी। तो ये अचानक हुआ हादसा है जिसको लेके सारे लोग दुखी हैं और जो भी जितनी मैक्सिमम मदद हो पाएगी मृतकों के परिवारों की और जो घायल हैं उनके, वो सब करने का प्रयास हो रहा है।
डीके शिव कुमार ने सर अपॉलॉजी भी इसको लेकर मांगा और कहा कि हम लोग अभी डिटेल्स ले रहे हैं।
हाँ, वही सारे अभी डिटेल्स ले रहे हैं। मेरी बात भी चल रही, कर्नाटका गवर्नमेंट से भी, पुलिस से भी, फ्रेंचाइजी से भी, बीसीआई के लोगों के आपस में, तो सारी बातचीत चल रही है। उसके बाद जो तथ्य पता चलेंगे आप लोगों को अवगत कराएंगे।
चीफ मिनिस्टर शुड रिजाइन, व्हाट डू यू
नहीं, देखिए इसमें रिजिग्नेशन
Okay. Actually, we need to wrap up, but before we wrap up, Abbas Saab, quick word from you.
Zafar Saab, like I previously said, if there is, a catastrophic event like this, there needs to be accountability. There needs to be responsibility taken by those involved with the management, with the organizational front. Also, as a matter of fact, let us understand that, the best lessons are learned where we do not repeat the mistakes. We, as Bangaloreans, everybody who's involved here, should rest assured. Everybody who's involved towards this incident, that we do not repeat what has happened, this unfortunate incident, in any manner. The fact we need to understand that this is heartbreaking for all the crores of RCB fans. And therefore, I think we must hold all those responsible for this and, of course, provide the best measures to all the deceased and the families.
Right. We'll have to wrap it up here. Thanks so much, Abbas Saab, Surabhi, and Akanksha for joining us today and for sharing your thoughts. And thanks to our viewers for watching the Mojo Story.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.